Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, I think all my videos that I make and put out are important, like messages. But the topic that we're going to talk about today is, as you get older, I believe this is vital, man or woman. And the topic is never let someone move you off center. So what does that mean? It means that when you're arguing with someone or you're talking with someone and someone may say something to you that kind of rubs you the wrong way, or they just responded to you in a negative light, and then all of a sudden you get like really emotional, you're throwing a tantrum, you could be yelling and whatnot. And basically it's just at that moment your emotions got to you and you made an impulse decision to right away react without thinking of the potential consequences. So as a caveat though, this is different than self-defense. If someone physically tries to attack you, then yes, you need to defend yourself, obviously. But I'm just talking about in terms of when you're just talking or you're in an argument. So this is especially critical because we've all seen a situation, whether when you're out and about, whether it's at a bar or maybe a social setting, or you're just with a group of people, group of friends, where you see that one person all of a sudden start acting out. And sometimes maybe he had a little bit too much to drink, him or her had too much to drink, or they get into an argument and then they just react, they get all emotional and it kind of kills the mood, and then people are trying to calm this person down. So it's a little bit of a combination of that person liking the attention and or they just can't control themselves and people have to calm them down. And in the back of your mind, and we've all been there, but at least for me in these type of situations, whenever I see that, I kind of lose respect for that person. I don't feel sorry for them. I just think to myself that, wow, they really look bad right now, and thank God that's not me. So whenever you get off center, let's talk about from the third person point of view of other people. For the most part, people, they lose a little bit of respect for you. And yes, if you're with your friend, girlfriend, or family, of course they're going to come and make sure that you're calmed down, but you're putting them in an embarrassing situation as well. So just overall, you look bad. And I'm a proponent of, I don't care what other people think about me, but I'm still not going to embarrass myself in public when I don't need to. And there should never be a time to embarrass yourself in public. Like I said, the only time is when somebody physically attacks you, you need to defend yourself. Then at that point, I don't care, you need to defend yourself. But I'm talking about an argument that I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm just going to look like an ass in front of everybody and, get all emotional, start, hitting stuff off the table, flipping chairs and tables. At that point, people shows that they can't control themselves, and to a degree they're wanting the attention. And sometimes in order to get that attention, that's the only way to how they act in order to get that. So the reason is it just makes you look bad in front of people, and whoever you're with, they're going to lose a little bit of respect for you. And for the short time being, they're not going to forget that, and that in the back of their mind, they're always going to think that this is how you react. It just takes one time. So that's from another person's point of view. And then let's talk about the consequences. So again, whether it could be at your job, or it could be with your friend, or with your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, it has dire consequences. And if you lose control without thinking of the consequences, you could lose your job, you could end a relationship with a friend, with a girlfriend, or it could be anything. If you have your own business, when you're dealing with clients, and word of mouth, if you behave in such a way, or it just took that one time where somebody moved you off center, and then now you're known for a certain way of acting, and that could potentially harm you, with potential other business customers, because you're going to start to create a reputation. It just takes one time. You look at it on the in sports. You know, I love sports, so I can use this as an example. Most recently, what happened with the Cleveland Browns with Myles Garrett, with his actions. Yes, he, you know, it was a fight, emotions got into it, but he still went over to the top, and his emotions got to him, and he acted in such a way to now he developed a reputation, he got suspended. Now anybody who thinks of Myles Garrett, automatically, yes, he's potentially, you know, he's a good football player, but they're right away going to think of that one moment in which he got moved off center, and it's going to be with him potentially for the rest of his career, and who knows how long. So like I said, it takes that one time. So it is hard because we've all been in those situations, and it's easier when you're calm, cool, collective, you know, you don't have your emotions running. So it's easy to say, yeah, I'm never going to act like that. But it's not until where you've been in some situations where you feel that emotions running in you, where you do want to act, but it just takes that inner, you know, hey, I may be angry right now, or maybe I'm frustrated, but think of the consequences that can potentially happen. And for me personally, that's what brings me back down to level. Now, this doesn't mean, though, whether it's an argument or you're talking with someone, that doesn't mean just because you're not going to react emotionally, that doesn't mean you're going to let people walk all over you. No, there's still a way in which you can defend yourself, but like I said, in a cool, calm, collective manner. So if somebody's yelling at you, for example, I'll tell them that, hey, you know, can you please stop yelling at me? And if you're going to continue to yell at me, I'm going to walk away. And then when you're more, you know, when you're calmer, then we can talk about it. That's how you, you know, that's an example that you can react to a situation where, you know, you're not reacting emotionally, and at the same time, you're not letting that person walk all over you. You still need to defend yourself, but you need to do it in such a way where it's cool, calm, and collective. And like I said, you might think that people are going to get intimidated by you if you're just yelling all the time, or you're trying to be some tough guy. Yes, to weak people, yeah, that could potentially work. But for the most part that I brought up in my earlier examples, people are just not going to respect you. And to a degree, they may kind of laugh, because usually the people that act all tough on the outside, a lot of the times, and I'm telling you, as I'm growing up, it's becoming more and more true, a lot of the times those people are some of the most insecure individuals, whether guy or girl, ever, because they're so insecure inside that because of those insecurities, they have to put on such a tough front, you know, on the external, to kind of show people that, hey, I'm tough, you know, you can't mess with me, blah, blah, blah. And they don't realize that when they do that, they're actually showing their insecurities even more so. Some of the most secure people and some of the most toughest people, they're very cool, calm, collective a lot of the times. So like another example, you know, people who are, you know, that they can probably beat up 95% of the people that they run into in their life. They're not walking around, you know, saying that. They know they can, but they don't need to say it. They're some of the most calm individuals that you ever meet. Yeah, if you try to fight them, they're gonna, you know, hit you back and probably beat you up. But they're not instigating. They're not putting that tough front, you know, externally. You know, they're just laid back and cool. And then vice versa, you have those other, you know, individuals, and sometimes they're skinny and scrawny because they know they are, that they have those insecurities inside of them. Those are the ones that, you know, they act tough, especially when they start drinking a little bit. It brings out those insecurities a lot more. Then you can tell the difference between somebody who's insecure, whereas somebody who's secure, they know they can, and they don't need to act it, and you can tell by their demeanor. So the final point that I want to bring to this, kind of tying everything together, is that when you don't let somebody or a situation or even a group of people move you off center, whether that's, you know, on the internet, but it's really tested in real life, because on the internet, you know, people hide behind their screens. You can't really react in such a way besides typing. This is more so, it can, I mean, it's an example as well, but it's more so in those real life situations where when you react right away without thinking of the consequences that can have potential harmful, you know, impact on your life in general. Some can be minor and some can be major, but when you don't let a situation, people, group, or an example move you off center, you are always holding on to your power, meaning that you're always in control of the situation, even though that the situation, some things are out of your control, meaning that, you know, there's external stuff that you don't control and that, you know, stuff's happening to you. But when you control your inner self and you control your feelings and you control your emotions, your reaction to these situations is a lot of times going to be is the best way to solve it, because again, you're not being reactive. Even though the situation may suck and it's not the best, you know, it's not going to help by you getting all emotional and making impulsive, irrational decisions. By you know, holding frame and being calm, being cool, being collective, you're going to have a clear, you know, mind in terms of what's the best way to make this decision. And, you know, a lot of times, like I said, it's easier said than done. And a lot of times you're going to be in situations where you may have to react fast, but you can still react in a framework in which you're thinking of the consequences and not making a bad decision. So this is the topic that I wanted to talk about in this video, and it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's one to where you need to go through some experiences, because nobody's perfect. Everybody's acted out impulsively and made bad decisions, and it takes those experiences to reflect back on to make sure that they don't happen again. But I still want to make this video and talk about it to, especially so some of the viewers who are younger and just getting out and about into the real world, and to kind of reference back to, we're still going to make decisions. Even I'm still going to make decisions, but it's still good to kind of know in the back of your mind that yes, at the moment you want to react right away, but you know, the more experience that you have and the more decisions that you made, then the better decisions going forward. And like I said, keeping the emotions low and keeping yourself calm. And it's going to, you know, be a very big difference maker in terms of some of your success that you're going to have in your life. Because like I said, not to sound scary, but it is very true. Potentially one bad impulsive emotional decision can ruin your life. And like I said, I'm not trying to make it into something scary, but it is true. You see it all the time when someone does something and they're thrown in prison or they're thrown in jail, and then it gets put on their record and whatnot. It kind of stays with them potentially for the rest of their lives. So like I said, it's good to reference back and always try to be calm, try to be cool, try to be collective. So guys, with that, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you found the video useful, please feel free to share it along. So with that guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.